Hi folks, welcome to Church History Wednesday. Today is an exciting episode looking at Martin Luther. So the real question is, who is Martin Luther? Let's cut right to the chase. So Martin Luther was a German theologian. He was a lecturer, he was a priest, and most of all, he was a reformist. Martin Luther was born way back in 1483. So now let's get into the life of Martin Luther. Before we get in, we have to know that Martin Luther is different from Martin Luther King. So Martin Luther was a reformer and Martin Luther King was the civil rights advocate. Alright, so we get that clear, and now we see what exactly Martin Luther was all about. So what was he reforming? So Martin Luther basically reformed the prevailing ideas of Christianity in those days. And those ideas consisted of not being able to translate the Bible from Latin to English, or the sale of indulgences for the salvation of people. And what is the sale of indulgences really? So you won't believe, the sale of indulgences was selling like pieces of paper to people to save their dead relatives from hell. Could this get any more absurd? Well, that's what really happened. And Martin Luther wasn't having it. So you know what Martin Luther did? Martin Luther wrote a long sort of like essay called the 95 Theses, detailing the things that were wrong with church doctrine at the time, and he nailed it all over the city. And obviously this got him into a lot of trouble. The church excommunicated him, he lost his reputation, and he was sanctioned really by even the government. But Martin Luther didn't stop, and that's the point. He kept going, he kept going, he kept going, and he translated the Bible to German. And even though he died in 1546, the works that he still carried are still with us today, and we have the Lutheran Society because of Martin Luther, the great reformer. Let me just leave you with a few quotes from Martin Luther, and then I'll get out of here. So what are some of the main things Martin Luther taught us? The first thing he taught us is we are saved by grace and grace alone. We have to be bold and we have to be fearless in our conviction, and the Bible is the sole source of spiritual authority. And let me leave you with some quotes Martin said. He says, peace if possible, truth at all costs. He says the God of this world is riches, is pleasure, is pride. And finally he says, you should not believe your conscience and your feelings more than the word which the Lord who receives sinners preaches to you. Ladies and gentlemen, that has been a brief, super quick history on Martin Luther. Hope you enjoyed Church History Wednesday. Stay tuned for more of this content. Take care. Peace out. Bye.